Well, in Washington, there's a lot of interest in payment reform because the system that is broken today is a system that is working exactly as it's designed. And that is a system that rewards more care, not necessarily higher quality care. And it creates tremendous burdens on hospitals because rather than delivering the care that they believe is appropriate for their community, they are incentivized to deliver care that is heavily procedure-oriented and based on this sort of whack-a-mole approach to addressing late-stage issues in health. Chronic conditions can be dealt with more upstream. We should be treating more diabetes with cooking classes than we should be with just insulin alone. We should be talking about physical therapy and prevention, occupational hazards, environmental exposures that cause cancer, not just the chemotherapy that treats cancer. So there's a tremendous opportunity right now to think about healthcare differently, and it's very challenging in a payment structure that we have today. And so it needs reform all the way around. Right now in healthcare, there's a blame game. Everybody points to the other stakeholder as the person that's holding the bag or getting a profit margin that is unacceptably too high. Somehow there needs to be an appropriate margin, but it can't be too high. Well, right now in healthcare, everybody is getting rich, except for one stakeholder, and that is the patient. That is the individual American worker that's paying into the system. Arguably, rural hospitals are struggling as well, but beyond that, you've got a system right now that is generating a tremendous amount of profit. It is a now $4 trillion industry, the largest industry in the United States. And we don't have the outcomes to show that the investment is delivering an ROI. So the opportunity in healthcare is to think differently and to address issues that bring people to care, not just the care itself, by changing to value-based arrangements. There's a lot of talk about value-based arrangements, but the reality is that only a couple value-based arrangements that Medicare has created have been financially profitable for Medicare. That is, delivered a return greater than the current system. So this is an opportunity where we need to say, look, maybe the government is not good at pricing things. Maybe we need to let the free market work. And hospitals have a duty to truly live up to the charity care responsibility. That's a part of a community benefit requirement for nonprofit organizations. Well, look, healthcare organizations often want to do things differently, but they're stuck within the current system. And this system is not a system that we designed, it's a system we inherited. And it doesn't work anymore, it's broken. If you look at the young doctors coming through in medical school, they don't want to participate in a fee-for-service hamster wheel system that emphasizes billing and throughput rather than taking care of patients and listening to them when they talk to us. So there are opportunities to think differently, but it's challenging in the current payment system. One of those ways in which hospitals can be more agile is to engage in direct contracting with health plans that are sponsored by employers, for example, and actually allow a direct relationship between those of us that deliver healthcare and people, a population that's definable and for which there's a global capitated payment whereby we've got freedom, where we don't have to bill and code for everything. We don't have to succumb to a 15-minute requirement in terms of a throughput system. And we can actually spend time listening to people and talking about more creative ways to deliver care. So that is the exciting thing in healthcare right now. And I think a lot of hospital systems and doctors are appropriately asking, how can we see a mass scaling of these successes? Because as of now, they've lived in little pockets in healthcare around the country.